Hey guys, Zero here, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play Runescape. I just wanted to start out by sharing this little perspective for you guys. Just check that out. Not bad, Jagex. Not bad at all. I mean, this is an older area of the game. I'm over in Falador, up in the White Knight's castle. But, you know, everybody always focuses on the new stuff, and there's so much to appreciate sometimes. So, a couple of days ago now, on the main page, you can see here 2013, what's going and or what's coming and what's going. And I have to say, after reading this through a few times, I'm really impressed with how candid Mark Gerhard decided to be with respect to, difficulties over the last year. In general, this appears to be about three or four basic things: better communication, better planning, better content, and more social elements to the game. And I think that those are all things that players can stand behind. In this area about community, they talk about, this emergence from secrecy, and it really, really was that way in the early days. People didn't mind so much; they didn't have expectations, I guess. They also talked about, the communications surrounding micropayments, and I think they were right to say that they're weak. There's no doubt in my mind that when they made the transition from no micropayments and moved towards doing that, I think it would have involved a lot of thought. They would have thought about it a lot, tried to understand how it fit in with the company, how it was going to be a good thing, and why it was necessary. And if they included us in some of that discussion, I think it would have been much easier to understand. So they intend to do more dev blogs and live Q&As. I really, really enjoy the live Q&As, especially the one about bots and gold farmers. And sure enough, here they are talking about just that thing. They say they'll be talking more about it soon. Maybe we'll see another Q&A. In general, I've been really happy with this update. BotWatch has been effective in lots of areas, but I think they're right to recognize that more gold farmers are in the game now. Again, they're talking about micropayments here, basically saying that they're necessary and that our good faith in the company uh, will pay off. And I don't think he needs to sugarcoat here. I think people can recognize it wouldn't be difficult for us to understand that these are necessary for the game. Not really something that he'll need to apologize for, right? Keeping our good game around. Promotions, this is one spot where I did have some interesting thoughts. I think that when they run promotions, they commonly are being used by players who are interested in at least one thing in common. If they've got the construction one or hunter or whatever, why not get those players together, right? And make it like a community thing. They talk a little about that, and maybe that's what they intend to do. But if they made those weekly or monthly or seasonal events things for people to do together, right? I think that would add a lot to the community. Here they go on to talk about the evolution of combat, and they suggest that they made a mistake by not giving us enough time to get used to the new changes. It's hard to say, but 4 months is a while. It's quite a long time. Not everyone had access to the beta immediately, but I think that depending on how they use that 4 months of time, maybe it would be enough. It's hard to say. But I think that if they roll out HTML5 in 2013, we can expect to see maybe a 6 to 9 month beta. And given that it would start in the later portion of the year, we might see that go right into 2014. As far as game updates, they suggest more social, more high level. What I would like to see, even though it doesn't apply to me specifically, is more low to mid-level ways for people to get daily content for both training skills and making money. Examples of that would be like the Big Chinchompa being one, or Sandstone Rock, right, where you can just get a limited number a day. And I think that would reduce the risk of bots kind of ruining those items, right, so that they were still profitable at a level that's suitable for players at that level. And recently, with the release of the Calphite King, people have suggested that it's really difficult for low-level and mid-level players to actually make money. And while I understand why they would say that, it's kind of not true. If you just use a little bit of creativity, and maybe, I can give you guys a few suggestions. Um, for low-level players, consider buying feathers. They are cheap, very inexpensive, and there's several different locations where you can buy them. You can get about 8,000 per day. You see here um, Alcared and Lumbridge. And then from there, I think I went to Port Sarim. Port Sarim shares its goods with Witch Haven, so you can go to one or the other, whichever you choose. Then I went to the Fishing Guild, another 1,000 feathers. And take note of the fact where there's fishing bait as well. From there, we can head up to Relica, and there's another fishmonger in the marketplace there. There are two more over in Miscellanea. Now, not all of these areas are going to be accessible to everyone at first, but as you unlock new areas, you'll unlock new ways to make money. So we've got two in Miscellanea, both of the marketplaces there, and then there's one last one over in Shiloh Village. So feathers, not too bad. At different times they've been worth more. And as I scroll down here, you can see broad arrowheads. Now you can buy 6,000 broad arrowheads per day, per 24 hours. And if you start off over in Taverley, you can go to the Slayer Master there for the first 3,000. For the second 3,000 broad arrowheads, you can go to any other Slayer Master. Those all share the same goods. So broad arrowhead's not a bad spot either. And as I scroll down here, vials of water can sometimes be good. You can buy them for 10 GP in Ardurn and also in Shiloh Village, and you buy these vial packs, and when you open them, they get noted. So you can very quickly buy like 1,300, and you double your money. It's just a little bit extra, right? Here you've got fishing bait as well. Right now they're only worth 6 each, but recently they were up to 13, right? So if you bought 7,000 or 8,000 in a day at 3 GP each and sold them at 13, you would make 70,000 or 80,000 that same day. And it's not very difficult at all. You can buy them while you're buying feathers. One last tip down here. Let's see. Aha, mithril seeds. Now this is a bit higher level. You'll need access to the Legends Guild, but in there you can buy 500 mithril seeds a day. Now these mithril seeds are used by gamblers that play that flower game. I don't think you guys should play that game. It's not a 50-50 game. The odds are stacked against you. This hot cold idea, they'll suggest that the chance that you get a push is very low, but it's actually quite high. And even if it were low, it wouldn't be worth playing. So just don't bother. It's a silly game. You're going to lose your money, and you may even just get outright scammed. So don't bother. But you can make some good money selling them. Alright, I've also got a quick port update. Unfortunately, the footage was compromised. It became corrupted. I've actually attempted to record this a few separate times, but if you recall, I wanted to send out a voyage where we were attempting to get a few trade goods. In the most recent case, I was going for 3 lacquer and also 3 chi orbs, or chi globes, whatever they are. I'll have to figure that out. Oh no, it was bones. Okay, so I went for 3 bones, 3 lacquer, and I put a merchant on each one. I had a 60% chance of success on the one, 50 on the other, and I was lucky enough to succeed in both. And in both cases, I had a merchant. Now, using a merchant with just 3 goods available would bring us up to 3.9 goods, right? Not quite 4. So if it rounded up to 4, we would know that it was still useful to use a merchant. Unfortunately, in both cases, they came back with just 3. So if you're going for trade goods and you can't get it up past an extra hold number, then it might not be worth it to include your merchant. Consider using another crew member. I also found a glitch recently. You guys will have to keep your eyes open for this. Again, that footage is all just corrupted. Can't use it. So the glitch is that sometimes when you're doing the Death Lotus Assassin minigame, you can click on a female character and it will say, nope, completely the wrong gender. And you can run across the room, click on a male this time, and it can say completely the wrong gender again. So the assignment um, of traits to these players, it's a little bit mismatched, I think, and they need to improve that. Also, I checked out um, my double voyage this week. I've already sent it off. It was one from the second region for a whole lot of gunpowder. Pretty cool. So every Thursday, if you go and talk to the barmaid, you get the barmaid's tip for extra goods. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up there. I apologize for the lack of actual footage here. All of these things were recorded before and were unfortunately corrupted, but I'll work on this for next time and make sure to improve for you guys. So I will talk to you next time. See you later.